let's bring in South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, welcome back.
Thank you.
Hey, Senator, I know you didn't read the 9,000 pages. We know it's worth 900
right.
billion plus because it's also the budget. Are you disappointed? A lot of the stuff in there has nothing to do with the pandemic or America.
Yeah, I mean, so the bottom line is they wanted $3 trillion for the pandemic last year. We wound up with $900 billion. You could have gotten this package in July. Mitch McConnell's right about that. They refused to even talk to us before the election because they thought a relief package would help President Trump. If you think this bill is bad, lose Georgia and see what happens. I think $4 trillion is to fund the government. Pete's not with you, but $680 billion of this goes to the military. Then you got to fund the FBI, Department of Homeland Security. So, yeah, there are things in there. The foreign aid budget is 1% of all American spending. Pakistan is a place I really worry about. 85 countries, a woman can't open up a bank account without her husband's signature. She can't inherit property. If you're a young girl in Pakistan, life is pretty tough, so we're trying to make life better for women throughout the world. But 1% of all federal spending is foreign assistance. China's everywhere. We got to compete, and $680 billion of this package goes to our military. And I like the COVID package in the sense that it is targeted. If you're a family of four, you're going to get $2,400 out there. If you're about to lose your small business, you can get another round of PPP loan, and there's $38 billion to get the vaccine to a place near you so you can actually take it. So this is sausage making, but the Democrats have a say. They run the House, and if they ever get the House, the Senate, and the White House, it will be a financial disaster for this country. So vote in Georgia.
Senator, switching topics here, you've been very concerned about Hunter Biden's foreign business deals and the impact it may have on Joe Biden's policy towards China.
Right.
Attorney General Bill Barr yesterday making comments on whether he will appoint a special counsel. Let's listen to that, and then we'll get your reaction.
I think to the extent that there's an investigation, I think that it's being handled responsibly and professionally currently within the department, and to this point I have not seen a reason to appoint a special counsel, and I have no plan to do so before I leave.
So, Senator, you have respectfully pushed back on the Attorney General and still believe that a special counsel is necessary to continue the Hunter Biden investigation.
Number one, I think Bill Barr did a great job as Attorney General. He tried to clean up the Department of Justice and the FBI that became a mess. The Crossfire Hurricane debacle, Durham is still investigating that. But as to Hunter Biden, you have a U.S. attorney in Delaware that's looking at tax fraud, but he's not looking at his overseas dealings, Hunter Biden's dealings in the Ukraine and China and other countries. We had banks report suspicious activity reports went from American banks where Hunter Biden and his partners were doing business to the federal government being concerned about the potential for money laundering. I want somebody to look at all the overseas activity of Hunter Biden, see if it's compromised the foreign policy of President Biden if he gets to be president, and the guy in Delaware doesn't have that mandate. So I respectfully disagree. If we're up to me, I would take the U.S. attorney in Delaware and give him the entire Hunter Biden portfolio so he could look at everything Hunter Biden did throughout the world, which is pretty massive industrial size influence peddling. I think we need a special counsel because I worry that what Hunter Biden did may have compromised our ability to effectively wage foreign policy.
Senator, for all those reasons, if there is no special counsel, couldn't a prospective new administration just sort of make the investigation eventually go away? I mean, there's no accountability.
Yeah.
So what's Bill Barr's thinking then if it is Joe Biden and there's no investigation potentially?
Well, what Bill is thinking is that the guy in Delaware is doing a good job looking at taxes, and I agree with that. Bill did not disclose the Hunter Biden investigation before the election because we have regulations that prevent that. The press knew about it. They just chose not to report on it because they hate Trump. My concern is without a special counsel or something like that, the business activity of Hunter Biden, which is all over the world, which doesn't pass the smell test, if it were a Republican, we sure as hell would be looking at it, is going to get swept under the rug. So I'm hoping that somebody at the Department of Justice, before the next administration comes in, if President Trump falls short, will appoint somebody that can outlast the confirmation process, that will be in place. It can't be fired. Listen, I supported Mueller doing his job. I actually signed on to legislation that you couldn't fire Bob Mueller unless there was cause, because I wanted to find out all things Trump and Russia. Not one Democrat has come forward to join my effort to make sure we have somebody to look at Hunter Biden. And again, his business associates and their business activities were flagged by banks, not some right-wing group all over the country, saying suspicious activity report because it could be a part of a money laundering scheme. I want somebody to look at that.
So, yeah, I know you're talking about Joe Biden, and you guys have been friends in the past until impeachment.
Yeah.
And he yesterday, or a couple of
Absolutely.
days ago, says he was my long-term friend, but now he's a personal disappointment. He's also called you an embarrassment. So what's your reaction to the president-elect's assessment of you?
Well, we're not going to live in a country where the Trumps get looked at from from the time they get up to the time they go to bed. I like Joe Biden. I like Jill. This is not easy. Hunter Biden's had all kind of problems, but I can promise you that what I'm asking for needs to be done. We're not going to give the Democrats a pass. What happened here is that Hunter Biden took advantages of his position of being the vice president's son. I'm disappointed that Joe Biden let this happen. He obviously is pretty much clueless. He says he didn't know that Hunter Biden was on Burisma's board, the most corrupt gas company in the Ukraine, when Joe Biden was in charge of dealing with corruption. How could you not know that your son was making millions of dollars from the most corrupt company in the Ukraine, and you be in charge of cleaning up the Ukraine? He has a lot to answer for. It's not personal. It breaks my heart that this happened, but I'm hell-bent on making sure we live in a country where everybody gets looked at when there's a reason.
Yeah, Senator, to your point, the Trump family were in business, and then went into politics. It was the opposite for the Bidens, who were in politics, and then that opened up the floodgates for business. And all the timeline starts almost exactly at his vice presidency, and we need to learn about it. Senator Lindsey Graham, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.